all thinking of Seamus now in terms of the figure that is known in the world outside of Ireland. But the Seamus Heaney that I knew first, his work was, you could see it blossoming. There was a wonderful sense in his writing of a kind of fresh world opening to which we were all attending. There was a kind of out in the world, breezy kind of quality to it, which I loved.
Death of a naturalist. All year the flax dam festered in the heart of the townland. Green and heavy-headed flax had rotted there, weighed down by huge sods. Daily it sweltered in the punishing sun. Bubbles gargled delicately, blue bottles wove a strong gauze of sound around the smell. There were dragonflies, spotted butterflies, but best of all was the warm, thick slobber of frog spawn that grew like clotted water in the shade of the banks. Here, every spring...
If you detach Seamus Heaney from Seamus Heaney the poet for a moment and just look at the poems, he has created out of his own upbringing a universe. There's the poems about, a working environment, farming environment, and there's this wonderful understanding of human contact.
My father worked with a horse plough. His shoulders glowed like a full sail strung between the shafts and the furrow. The horse strained at his clicking tongue. An expert, he would set the wing and fit the bright steel-pointed sod. The sod rolled over without breaking. At the head rig, with a single pluck of reins, the sweating team turned round and back into the land. His eye narrowed and angled at the ground, mapping the furrow exactly. I stumbled in his hobnailed wake, fell sometimes on the polished sod. Sometimes he rode me on his back, dipping and rising to his plod. I wanted to grow up and plough, to close one eye, stiffen my arm. All I ever did was follow in his broad shadow around the farm. I was a nuisance, tripping, falling, yapping always. But today, it is my father who keeps stumbling behind me and will not go away.
He used English from the north in a very clear, concise and uncompromising way, that the vernacular of English as it's spoken in Northern Ireland had, through him, become valid. That's an example which, for a young buck growing up in Northern Ireland and trying to find a sense of himself as a poet, that was very releasing.
Hi guys, thank you all for coming to Poetry and Pints. If you've been here before, you know what the crack is. You can come up and read and you just enjoy a nice night of contemporary Northern Irish poetry. We're going to have Stephen Conn.
This is Personal Helicon.
Yes.
As a child, it's by Seamus Heaney, I should say, of course. Personal Helicon. As a child, they could not keep me from wells and old pumps with buckets and windlasses. I loved the dark drop, the trapped sky, the smells of waterweed, fungus and dank moss. One in a brickyard with a rotted board top. I savoured the rich crash when a bucket plummeted at the end of a rope.
Seamus was synonymous with poetry at a time when poetry was coming under increasing pressure as a form of public discourse. Go back inside those poems and there's a very, very strong sense of going forward, not sitting back, but actually life is to be lived.
My friend says that the human soul is about the weight of a snipe, yet the soul at anchor there, the string that sags and ascends, weigh like a furrow assumed into the heavens. Before the kite plunges down into the wood, and this line goes useless, take in your 2 hands, boys, and feel the strumming, rooted, long-tail pull of grief. You were born fit for it. Stand here in front of me and take the strain.